Alright, so Kashi, today I am going to be interviewing you. So I'm going to ask you 10 simple questions, and that's going to be the interview. Alright?
Great. Well, thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Yeah. Alright. Question 1. How did you come up with the name Kashi Cans?
So the story is actually kind of interesting. I basically used to play this game called Clash of Clans. Have you ever heard of it? Yeah, it's a mobile game, right? And I was always playing Clash of Clans on my phone when I was like 11 years old. And whenever my dad would ask me, hey, what are you playing? I would say Clash of Clans. And he would respond, Clashy Clans, Clashy Clans. And I thought it was kind of catchy. So when it came time to make a YouTube name, I was trying to think of a new name. And Clashy Cans just kind of came from Clashy Clans. So shout out to my dad for that one.
Alright. Question 2.
Shout out my man.
Yeah. If you could go back any point in your career, which one would it be and why?
Okay, I know exactly where I would go back to. This goes back many years. I was like 14 years old, and I used to stream Fortnite, right? I had about 6 weeks off of school, and on the very last few days before I went back to school, I pulled like 2,000 live viewers on YouTube, which was insane. But the problem was, I was streaming at like 10 a.m., 10 in the morning, and I was, for some reason, pulling loads of Australian viewers. So then when I had to go back to school, I could only stream when I got back home from school, and I dropped down to like 50 viewers. So my biggest regret is not capitalizing on that opportunity fully, but you know, it is what it is, and we made it here today, so it's all part of the journey.
And you have like what, 400k, I think?
We're closing in on 400k, at 365 at the minute. Not bad, right?
Yeah. Alright, so question 3. What's the hardest thing when you make videos?
The hardest part of making videos is organizing things. I'm very disorganized. Having people ready at the right time, having the title and the thumbnail sorted, those are the difficult parts. Recording is super easy. Like, I can spark up a recording and just talk for ages, but everything else behind the scenes that goes into the video, such as maybe making a brief outline, a script, all these kind of things, that is the really tricky part and like the monotonous part of content creation.
Yeah, like when I make these interviews, like I have to figure out a title, a thumbnail. It's hard.
Yeah, and you don't know if it's good or bad, and then sometimes I'm making like 3-4 different thumbnails. Like, I've got a video going up today. I've got like 4 different thumbnails that I'm gonna flip between and test to make sure that I get the one that works the best. Yeah, you know it, bro, you know it. So yeah, organizing and everything really behind the scenes is the difficult part. Recording, super easy.
Alright, so question number 4. What do you worry about most on streams?
On stream, I've been streaming for a very long time, so there's not many things that make me nervous or make me not want to stream. The biggest... What's the word? My biggest concern when streaming is my internet dying. I don't think anything could go worse than me either lagging or my internet cutting out when I'm streaming. I will actually lose my mind if one of those two things happens. Very frustrating.
Because imagine you're mid-game, almost about to win, power cuts out.
Oh, dude, it's the worst. It's the worst, especially when you have so many viewers and you're in the middle or something, and power cut or internet cut or 400 ping. Bro, it's so frustrating.
If you watched until now, you probably enjoy it, so like and subscribe. It's free and it helps me out a ton.
So yeah, internet dying for sure.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Alright, question 5. What/who made you start playing games and making content on them?
Okay, so I was always playing games ever since I was very, very young. Like, I started playing on the PS2, I was playing Simpsons Hit and Run, and I grew up watching a lot of different YouTubers. I feel like the most influential one for me was a YouTuber called Ali A. Have you heard of him? Yeah, Ali A, I think he does Fortnite content now. and maybe a little bit of Roblox actually. But when I first started watching him, he was doing Call of Duty videos and like cut commentaries, and those were a huge inspiration. Like I remember seeing this man buy a car off of making YouTube videos, and that was like so surreal to me that someone could like make that much money from playing games and recording themselves. And that's really when I wanted to be a YouTuber. So yeah, Ali A, man, shout out that guy. Love Ali A.
All right, question 6. What was your most excited moment in your channel's history?
This is such an easy answer for me. My most excited I've ever been creating content was... Actually, there's probably quite a few, but I think the biggest one is hitting 100,000 subscribers. Hitting 100k was like so surreal to me, and getting the YouTube plaque that literally shows in front of me, like physically in front of me, the time and effort that I've put into this channel was by far the most exciting thing that's ever happened, for sure.
Yeah, that's honestly crazy, like just getting that reward that you've been building up to.
Exactly, especially after wanting it for so long. Like we spoke about, you know, I was like 10 years old watching Ali A or whatever. Growing up wanting to be a YouTuber and being 21 at the time, and finally getting that plaque was huge because I wanted it for so long.
Alright, question 7. When you started off, were you a massive success, or did you fail at times?
Oh, I was not a massive success. Like, this took me years and years and years of grinding, and I still wouldn't consider myself a massive success. I constantly failed. I had some small wins, and I failed more. I think if you're not failing, you're not trying, right? You need to put stuff out and have it flop to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And it's only through the trial and error that you'll actually improve yourself and your content. And I think this goes for pretty much anything, not just content creation, but anything in general. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Those are some wise words, honestly.
Appreciate it, bro.
Alright. Question 8. What is your favorite thing about live streaming?
Okay, my favorite thing about live streaming is, one, having a laugh with the chat. Like, I love just being able to spark up a stream, just yap nonsense, and have a good laugh. But I think my favorite part about streaming is hosting viewer games. Like, for example, I'll bring people in to do like split or steal. So I'll have like 2 different people in the Discord call, and they're arguing with each other over like who's gonna win the skin case. I love the interaction that comes from live streaming, especially when I can get the viewers involved and like talking on the stream. That's one of my favorites by far.
Yeah, that's actually a really fun thing to do on stream, because it not only entertains your viewers, but it entertains yourself.
Yeah, it really does. It's sometimes really enjoyable to just kind of sit back and let people talk it out on my stream. It's very enjoyable for sure. I love it.
Alright, question 9. What is one thing you'd want to change about your channel? And if so, why?
Ooh, if I thought about this long and hard enough, I probably could come up with a better answer for you. But I feel like my consistency and my upload schedule is something that I would drastically want to improve. Like, I want my videos to not only come out consistently, but I want all of my videos to feel the same and have the same kind of vibe and the same kind of editing. And that's definitely something I struggle with, is like from one video to another, sometimes they're very different. And I wish there was a little bit more cohesion, like they were more similar from upload to upload, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but like, they're still really great videos.
Oh, thank you very much, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're pulling a lot of views.
We're not doing too bad. We're not doing too bad.
Alright, question 10 and final question, and the most important one. Alright. If you could give any advice to your viewers, what would it be?
This is very cringe and very cliche, but the reason that things are so cliche is because they've been repeated so many times, because they're true. You can do anything you put your mind to. Do not fear judgment of anyone that does not understand you. That's all I have.
That's very wise words.
Andre.
Alright, so thank you for this interview. I will get this edited and uploaded, and I'll send it over to you.
Sweet. Well, thank you for having me, man.